All right, so the Browns' offensive line. We talked about the run blocking earlier this week, but let's look at some of the pass protection to see what's going on there. They were allowing far too much four-man fronts or four-man pressures. They're letting far too many of those four-man pressures hit against the Ravens, or at least the Ravens were hitting on those four-man fronts far too often. Now, what the Ravens were doing, a lot of sim pressure, a lot of stuff like that. But veteran offensive line with a veteran quarterback, Joe Flacco, 40-year-old quarterback, you expect that to be something you can handle, right? Like, I don't, if it was a rookie, a young O-line, and a young quarterback, I'd have more patience for it. But just the amount of pressure that Baltimore got, getting the seventh most dropbacks. Well, 41.7% of the quarterback dropbacks were pressured. That was seventh highest in the league, and they blitzed like I think the third least in the league this week. So that's not good, right? So really the pass protection was more concerning from an offensive line standpoint for me than the run blocking was. Now, pass protection, like I always say, it's a collaboration, right? It's between the quarterback and it's also between the offensive line. So some of this was because the offensive line wasn't doing a great job. Some of this, I don't think Joe Flacco helped himself. That's what I thought Joe Flacco was especially poor in this week. I mean, I thought he did a poor job managing the game this week. And I thought he did an especially poor job doing the stuff that we expect Joe Flacco to do well, which is manage the pocket and kind of minimize the amount of pressures he's taking. He played more hero ball this week than I think anybody anticipated him playing. And that's not good, right? That's not how we want Joe Flacco to play. That's not how we envision Joe Flacco playing. And if that's how Joe Flacco continues to play, then that's not going to be good. He's not going to be able to play much longer. So too much hero ball from Joe in this game. Thought bad game management, bad pocket management was really a part of it. On the offensive line wasn't lights out either, right? Again, a lot of four-man fronts just getting home on this team. Let's look at it. But before I do, I want to thank my sponsor for today, Sleeper. Hey, guess what? The NFL season is finally here, and that means you've got a fantastic opportunity with daily fantasy football on the Sleeper app. Football has never been more exciting than it is now with players like CJ Stroud, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, etc. Pick on stats for these stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, and fantasy points and more for up to 100x payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right and you can win big. Use promo code WORSTTAKE and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Download the #1 sports app today and experience it for yourself. Also, remember that you can use the promo code WORSTTAKE and get up to $100 match on your first deposit. All right, let's look at this one. Let's look at some pass protection. Not going to be a super long breakdown, right? We're going to be kind of very specific here about what's going on with this team. All right, so first little pressure here. We got about like 7-8 pressures we're going to look at. This one's on Flacco more than anything, right? Like just too much time here. Unfortunately, what happens is Cedric Tillman falls. And I think he has a good argument here that this is pass interference or defensive holding of some kind, illegal contact. You can see he's on the ground here. He was the read here and the intended target, but he's on the ground, so Joe has to pump this. And then he kind of hesitates on getting this out to the running back because Roquan Smith is right there. Yeah, not really anywhere for Joe to go with the ball that's not going to lose yards, if I'm being honest with you. Maybe he could have just gave up on the play here, but I don't know. I'd be nervous about launching this ball from this position because that can easily turn into a strip sack if he reaches back. Kind of just got to take this sack here, if I'm being honest. Sucks, but You know what I mean? Like when your main read, who you're going to definitely give this ball to, falls on the ground. Your check down is dead on arrival. I mean, that's going to be basically like taking a sack here because Roquan is definitely in position to smoke Jerome Ford right here. So it's kind of just got to take the L here. I don't think I blame this one on the offensive line, even though, there's a loss here, right? Wyatt Teller does lose this rap to this guard, well, to this tag. But, if Joe's able to get that ball off there, they get a big play there. We're not even talking about it, right? This play got elongated because Cedric Tillman fell down. Nowhere to go with the ball. Other than that, if we go around, 71's doing a fine job here. Center and Joel doing a fine job. And I thought DeJuan Jones did a great job there on the Dafe Owe. So, I guess you call it a coverage sack. This one here, you get a free runner. I think that's part of the protection here is to get this free runner. Like you're fine with it. I know it sounds crazy to some people, but sometimes, you're okay with the free runner. Because what the Browns are trying to do is create space here for this running back. Like they want to create space. They want to get rid of this ball quickly. So, and you know that this pressure from 14 is going to take a real long time to get to you. So you got time to make that throw. And if you're Joe, you're thinking, okay, we let him run free. We'll just throw right behind him. Only problem is, one, I think this throw is not great by Joe Flacco. It's high, it floats, allows Nate Wiggins far too much time to put a shoulder in the back of Jerome Ford, and he just absolutely crushes him. Yeah, this ball has to get there a lot faster. It kind of hung in the air. And then credit to Nate Wiggins for being very aware of what's going on here, right? Eyes in the backfield, shoots on that immediately. It's a great play by number two. Number two had a hell of a game, right? The Browns went into this game trying to target Roquan, trying to target Nate Wiggins, and I understood why they would do that, given what they looked like week one. But those guys played much better in week two than they did in week one. And, shout out to them. Like, protection wise, I mean, there's not really much to look at here. That ball's just got to be better from Flacco in order for that play to work the way you want it to. All right. This one here, another free runner. Now, I don't think this one was intentional. I think this one, they got confused by the sim pressure. You can tell when a free run is they're okay with it in the protection. You can always tell when they're not. This one they weren't because look at how Flacco reacts to it. Oh, it's just throws shit out of bounds. Right. Just launched it. Dead play. Yeah, so I have to imagine that Dylan Sampson did the wrong thing here. Right? Either Dylan or Cornelius Lucas did. Look at how I think this is Dylan. So I think they're expecting Dylan to get over, right? So I think Dylan is supposed to be over here. He's supposed to pick that up. And they're going to go down, 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 down this way, right? Dylan instead goes right where Cornelius Lucas is. And part of that is because Cornelius Lucas just gets beat immediately. So, like, it's not a good job by 72 either way. Yeah, this is just a bust. This protection busted. 72. Horrible job here. They were giving Dewan a breather. This is a terrible job by 72. Dylan, I don't know if he just kind of reacted and went there, but I'm pretty sure he's not supposed to be there. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be doing something about this guy, right? He's supposed to be kind of pulling over here and trying to shoot those legs or, just knock him on the ground, something like that. But protection here bust. Shame here too, because Isaiah Bond at the top of the screen, if you see right here, sold this really well and was probably gonna win that. But yeah, complete protection bust from 72. I think 72 is the main culprit here. And then Dylan Sampson might be involved as well. All right, this next one, let's look at this. Jerome Ford in now. All right, so again, a name I'm saying far too much. Cornelius Lucas gets beat here too easily. Dewan's doing a fine job against Mike Green. And I think Dewan played well this week. I don't know what PFF graded him. I know they gave him like a terrible grade last week. This is why you can't go off PFF grades, because I didn't think he was terrible last week. Good double team here. It could be better. Fine double team on Travis Jones. Just really need 71 to hold up better. Better anchor there from those two. I don't think anything would have been open because Tillman eventually does break off of this, but this isn't clean at the top of his route at all. Yeah, I wouldn't throw that out to Jerry Jeudy with Hamilton sitting over it like that. That'd be a bad idea. So Tillman's got to win cleaner at the top of this because that is a chance for them. That's like exactly what you want. Middle field open. Still, I think he does win this against Humphrey. And that would have been an answer for them. But the biggest problem here is 71 gets beat here again. They're missing Jack Conklin a lot right now. They're missing Jack Conklin a lot. Again, who am I talking about? 71, Cornelius Lucas. This is disappointing, man. I thought he would be able to hold down that backup tackle position a lot better than this. Yeah, it's him. It's him. Even like Dewan gets beat here, but he recovers really well. Yeah, actually, Dewan doesn't even get beat. Yeah. He recovers. Always starts to move him a little bit. He recovers. Good job here. Center guard, good combo there. Joel's doing a fine job here. Yeah, just 71. 71 right here is responsible for this pressure. I cannot state enough how much this team is missing Jack Conklin right now. I just simply can't. They're missing Jack Conklin. If you watch this video and you don't come to that conclusion, I'm seriously questioning if you watched. Because, like half this video is look at 71, right? He's not playing well. Actually does a good job holding up here. Not Joe Batone. Wyatt Teller's the one who gets beat. Joe does a good job getting this out anyways. And, they're asking Wyatt to basically pull and play tackle. It's pretty tough. Another thing here is this Jerome Ford. I imagine he's supposed to get a shoulder into Owe or something like that. Like, I can't imagine he was just supposed to release like that. But maybe he was because that's where the ball ended up going. You would think they would say, hey, find 99 and get him, but I guess 99 did a good job of avoiding that chip block. So he just released. Oh man, if this would have held up better though. You got a couple of interesting things here. Right, if this held up better. Because you have this out, and so that would have been an answer. You got this interesting like 9 that Isaiah Bond is running on Kyle Hamilton that might have been able to hit. Uh, I know they were hurt when this protection got blown because this was one of their better shots here. All right, let's go to the next one. This one's obvious here, right? And Dylan Sampson's got to do the better job than this. Love that he was there. Got to do better than this. Can't let Roquan bench pressure like that, buddy. Got to get low. Got to get him to the ground. Got to do something else. Can't have that happen. And that creates that pressure. Cornelius Lucas up top here getting dangerously close to a hold, too. But yeah, Dylan's got to do better than that. Play action here. Where's the pressure? Oh, 71 gave up a pressure. Yeah, they're missing Jack Conklin a lot. They just are. They need him back. I think that's going to change a lot if Conklin still plays like himself. Getting Conklin back here would be huge. I mean, I don't think that changes the result of that play specifically, but I think just getting Conklin back in general would be huge. Okay, so this is not really like this is technically a pressure, but they're willing to give this. This is just a slip screen, right? Like he's letting him through on purpose. One, Kyle Hamilton just destroys this play. Yeah, Kyle Hamilton just destroys this play, and two, Posic's got to get out there a little bit faster. What happened with Posic? 1, 2. Yeah, he's just got to get to that spot a little faster. He's got to beat that safety to that spot. But it's hard when somebody triggers downhill this fast, man. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. That's just an excellent play by 14. 14's an all pro. That's all pro shit happening right there, man. Boom. All right, so that's our look at what went down in the pass pro in general. I think they're missing Jack Conklin. I think that's the biggest note that I can give them is they're missing Jack Conklin a lot. And once they get Jack back, I think we'll get a better evaluation of what this offensive line, what they could look like for the rest of the year. But yeah, they're missing Jack. They need Jack Conklin back bad. Hopefully they get him back this week because it's going to be a big challenge against the Packers. I think he'll help them out in pass pro and in run blocking. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Y'all have a great day. Have a better night. Peace.